From being an international bogeyman who once cheerfully mixed menace and tyranny with his own version of knockabout farce, Idi Amin made himself invisible. The once garrulous British Army Sergeant Major shut up and vanished into the protective folds of his Arab allies. His presence here is supposed to be secret. These were the last pictures taken of him more than 18 months ago, during the early phase of his disastrous war against the Tanzanian army. From Uganda, he fled to Libya and then moved to another Arab country. I found Idi Amin, Big Daddy as he still likes to be called, living quietly in a brand new house that has been given to him. With him are one of his wives and 25 of his children. Ignominious defeat has treated him kindly. He's bursting with vitality.
I am fresh, strong, and I am concerned with the situation in Uganda.
But are you keeping track of the situation all the time? How do you manage that thousands of miles away?
I have all Ugandans at heart, and they keep me informed, and all Ugandans, except the only few, might be opposing me, but most of them, they love me, they pass their information to me, and they want me to save them from the chaos situation which is now happening in Uganda.
When you left Uganda last year, did you manage to bring out a lot of money? Are you one of these rich leaders who've gone into exile?
No, I am not rich. I am one of the poor leaders in the world, and my intention is to work for my people, but not for me. That is the reason why, you know that if you check all banks all over the world, in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, in the United States of America, you will never find account belong to me, because I work for the people of Uganda. I am a founder of the economic independence of Uganda.
Field Marshal Amin, a year ago, your army seemed to have been destroyed by the Tanzanians in Uganda. You disappeared. Now, why did your army do so badly? What happened?
I would say that my army, Air Force, and the Marine were not destroyed by the Tanzania. I am trained military officer by British, and in military tactics you can either fight the war, or if you think you will win later, you can tactically withdraw your force to the safe place, and then until you might make a counter in the future.
The Tanzanians went round saying that you had run away.
I never ran away, and they never fought battle against Uganda. And I will say that they have not even made any resistance in Uganda, because my plan that as a founder member and as a founder of the economic independence in Uganda, it will be very shame if I am to destroy my own town, capital city. They found all capital city is full, and they found Ginger, it is full, and therefore I directed my officers and the men of the Uganda Armed Forces not to harm anybody, not to steal, not to destroy any industry or any building, and we never.
So
we withdraw safely.
You talked about saving Uganda.
Yes.
You say you're not interested in power, but do you think that you're the man who can save Uganda?
I can. If Ugandans wants me, I will.
You know what Obote said last week? I heard him say it. He said that Idi Amin Dada should be brought back to Uganda in chains. That's what he said at that rally.
Yes, but he knows that I am very popular. Obote is against any leader popular in Uganda because he is unpopular. That is why he is to give instruction with Nyerere to deport, to arrest Lule, to arrest Binaisa. I want Binaisa must be set free immediately, and so that he can compete with Obote. I want people like Lule must be returned back to Uganda. They can contribute a lot with their professional. Like Binaisa is a trained lawyer.
But should Big Daddy go back to Uganda in the near future? Would he like to?
For me, yes. If the people of Uganda wants me, I will go back to Uganda, and I am sure I will contribute more for the people of Uganda. But I am not power thirsty. I wanted to help and rescue the innocent, poor Ugandans.
What about all your supporters, your officials you left behind? There are 3,000 who've been in prison in Kampala for over a year. What are your feelings about them?
I will rescue them. I will do everything possible with the support of Uganda if they wanted to be free, if they wanted Uganda to be called as a Peel of Africa, as was said by late Sir Winston Churchill, and Uganda will be.
One of your great friends, Bob Askins, Major Bob, is under a murder charge at the moment. What about Major Bob?
I think they can say, as I wanted to inform you, that Major Bob is innocent. He's been helping the poor Ugandans. He has not killed anybody, what I know. Bob Astor was trying to help everyone poor, and those whom he helped, I am sure they can also speak for themselves. And I am sure and confident that God will help Bob, and with the blessing of God, Bob will be out of the prison.
After the liberation of Kampala, 3 days after it, I went to the State Research Bureau.
Yes.
I walked down the basement. The basement was choked with bodies, corpses, shot. There was blood all over the floor. I think those people had been held in the State Research Bureau. Who could there have been?
After the capture of Kampala, they brought body and put there in state research. Nobody would know, because I will tell you that they found army. I withdrew the army before. I kept the army only engaging the enemy outside Kampala.
What about the murder of those? There were 4 journalists murdered about 10 days before the fall of Kampala, Europeans who came in from Kenya. I mean, what about that?
I don't know at all, and first time for me to hear from you. I don't know about them at all.
Well, another alleged crime involving the State Research Bureau was said to be Mrs. Dora Bloch, you know, the Israeli commando raid on Entebbe. They dug up her bones in the forest on the road to Ginger after liberation.
I don't know. I can't be Amin in Kampala or in Entebbe, and the same Amin is in Mauritius, outgoing current chairman of the Organization of African Unity 1976, and handing over. And when I came back, it was, that is the time, arriving And that is the time was the Israel raid. And how can I be responsible? I know nothing about it completely. Because as far as I know nothing about Dora Bloch.
If you went back yourself, isn't there a very strong chance that somebody might try and kill you? Assassination? I mean, you've survived half a dozen assassination attempts?
I am not a person who is afraid of being assassinated because I believe in God and I know exactly when and how I will die. And this is secret. And that is why you find that I was the last man to withdraw from the battlefield. And this is according to the military history. The commander of the battle is the last man to withdraw. And I perform my duty as a commander.
Well, how did you get out of Uganda?
How I got it through my tactics. I can't tell you. But very bravely and addressing everywhere chaired by this population, because I was not overthrown. I was forced out of Uganda by the invading force who are 6 times bigger than my army. And therefore I cannot put my army to commit suicide.
You seem to set great store by your British Army background still. It sounds as if the British Army code book and so forth worked last year.
I'm very proud about British because I am trained officer in British Army, in War Ministers, and I've been also to Camberley Staff College with the most top British high-ranking who actually fought very bravely, highly, hero of 1945 Second World War. And therefore, I use British tactics, and I love the British very much. And I think any misunderstanding between me and the British is you, the journalists, because journalists can bring you up nicely in the world, and the journalist can destroy you, and therefore the image of me and the friendship between me and the British was destroyed by the journalists.
The bluster, the bombast of the same Big Daddy who oppressed Uganda for 8 appalling years. But whatever his threat or his wish to become some sort of power broker in the continuing Uganda crisis, he is a spent force. His army is in tatters around Uganda's borders. He's humoured here, pampered, but he lacks credibility, even among his longest-suffering allies, the Arabs. This is Brian Barron at Big Daddy's secret refuge.